I'm kind of out on this one, but that's okay.
So with Alera wrapped up, do you have plans for anything that's not Dresden related right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of things kicking around right now. I've got a really good. I was trying to outrun an electrical storm on the way home from a game at about 5:30 in the morning, and I had a van full of sleeping kids who were just exhausted because we'd been playing the entire day before. So I'd been up for about 24 hours straight. I was really tired. I'm playing some Nine Inch Nails album, like really loud, one of the really heavy industrial ones. I think it was Pretty Hate Machine. And then I noticed an electrical storm coming. It was coming perpendicular to my course. So if I could get to the city fast enough, I could get ahead of it. And I'm like going, oh, I could so make a steampunk book out of this situation. Imagine actually being in that. So I had a great idea for a steampunk world setting, which, I mean, it would seem like fantasy. It would actually be science fiction, sort of like the Alera books kind of seem like fantasy. They're built much more like science fiction. So that might be something I do next. I've got an actual science fiction series that's got a little bit of space opera called U.S. Marshals. I went to all this trouble to create this. It's 200 years in the future, and everybody who lives off the planet has seceded from Earth because they were tired of taxation without representation. Being a teeny minority of the number of people on the planet, and they formed their own. They kind of formed their own conglomerate of a nation called the United System. And so I had to figure out 200 years of history just so I would be able to have characters named U.S. Marshals, and the Marshals are the only ones who know about the aliens. So it's sort of Men in Black meets X-Men on the moon 200 years in the future. And it would be a lot of fun. Actually, I got half of the first one written, and I stopped writing with my character having ejected from his ship in a decaying orbit over the moon with a solar flare coming on. And he's been there for like 5 years. It was funny though, writing up to like the hugest, most tensest, deadliest danger moment in the book, and then just kind of leaving it there. I feel a little bit bad for doing that. I mean, it's bad enough. I kind of did it to the whole world at the end of Changes. Boom, ha. And now it's going to be a year before you hear anything. Actually, it's going to be longer than that, but we'll deal with that in a second.
What?
So yeah, speaking of Changes, how many people here were ready to form a lynch mob?
Officers, here they are.
I liked it. I liked the book. It's just that.
Did you get a lot of trouble from your editors about that?
They're like, what are you doing? And I assured them that no, I'm not ending the series there. And they're like, but, they sound like that. And I said, okay, and then I wrote the first 3 chapters of the next book and sent it to them, and they went, oh! And I'm like, yeah, come on, my kid's just starting college, I'm not gonna end the Dresden Files now. And then once they had the idea of what Ghost Story was going to be like and be about, then it was much more, they were much more amenable to it.
You had mentioned before that you saw the series going around 23 books or so?
Yeah, the original plan was to have about 20 of the case books like we've had so far, and then a big old apocalyptic trilogy at the end. It's taken me a little bit longer to do the story as I had originally planned it. Like, I think I'm about 2 books behind. On the other hand, I think it's cool that book 13, I get to have my character being dead, solving his own murder, but it's going to be 20-ish books, depending on if the kid goes to doctoral school. I really hope he doesn't want too much education. Goodness knows how long it could be.
Give him 2 PhDs.
So that puts you at about the halfway point now.
Yes.
And you have pretty much pulled out every stop in the book for the battle sequence on this one.
Oh, yeah, but now we get to start the good stuff.
Do you worry that you're going to have trouble stopping it?
Actually, no. I mean, I kind of planned it out.
Yeah.
We just started rolling, and for what I've got in mind, for the rest of the series, I kind of paced myself in terms of, because I knew that was going to be an issue. Power escalation in a series is always something that is a big deal.
Over 9,000.
Although Dresden's superpowers, as he's growing in the books, are mostly, gosh, I'm getting smarter, sneakier, and more underhanded. It's like, yeah, that's the way it actually works in real life. That's so far. I think I'm on the right pace.
You've through the whole series, you've always abused Harry.
Abused? Okay. I mean, I guess some people might consider it abuse.
Well, let's just say you have.
That's just such a great prosthetic you've got for your hand as well. Just so you know. But I don't abuse him.
Well, you haven't been kind to him.
It's not my job to be kind to him.
True.
But that can be for the readers. My job is not to be kind.
Was there anything that you took away from him in the last book that was difficult for you to write, or was it just fun?
No, it was just fun. I swear, there are some authors who will kind of occasionally write themselves into the books or give themselves put a character in the books who more or less represents themselves. I don't do that, but if I did, Harry Dresden would punch me right in the nose. I mean, you're the guy who's, whenever Dresden goes, it's like someone up there just hates me and has it in for me. That's me. But yeah, he'd pop me right in the nose if he could.
So you want to talk about Ghost Story? Is there anything you can say about it?
Ghost Story, for me to get it done, it's been a very difficult story to write on account of. Normally Dresden can, if I'm running into a problem while I'm writing it, I can just have Dresden kick down a door somewhere and hat up and get tough. Being a ghost and all, he's actually having to use his brain, which means I'm actually having to use my brain, and that's hard. So it's been a difficult story to write. If I'd finished it in time to come out on the April date, it would have been a very half-assed story, and I believe in full-assed stories. So in order to make sure the story has a complete ass, I had to ask for some more time to get it done, so it's going to be out in July instead of April.
Oh, ow.
Fine, I'll just stop writing it at all. I will go home.
You'll get it in July and you'll be lucky.
But yeah, I needed some more time to get it done. It was hard. It's been difficult to write it, but I think I've gotten over the roughest parts of the book. My editors were panicking and everything. They've got this thing they call a calendar, which they say is very important. I don't know, but so I said, okay, listen, we're gonna have to do it at a different time. And they're like, okay, end of July, and I'm like, is there any chance that I'd be making a Comic-Con appearance as part of that, because if I did, then they would pay for it, which I still find vital for some reason. I've had some success, and I'm still used to being the poor college kid living in a little 20 by 20 rental house. In my head, that's who I see myself as, and I know that's not true anymore, but gosh, it feels like it's true. My wife still cuts out coupons. We got to get to the store today for these coupons. Go, okay, and I kind of stop and think, do we? Yes, coupons, right, okay. Here we go.
All right, let's go to the audience, because I think